Good afternoon, Mustang Nation. This is Coach Sanderson with a little preview of this afternoon's matchup with the Solon Spartans. Now, Solon comes into the game today with a 7-6 record and probably not what they would have expected going into the season. Last year, they were bounced from the regional tournament by Davenport Assumption in a regional final, won 16-17 games last season and brought everybody back, headlined by University of Iowa commit Callie Levine. And this season, the Spartans have really been up and down. They've played some very good teams to close games, losing to Center Point Urbana, Xavier, and North Polk. They've blown some teams out in the conference. They've lost a couple of close games in the league to Vinton and Marion. They rattled off a 4-game winning streak, and then on Tuesday night tripped up at Maquoketa. And so their record now is 7-6, and they've been a little bit up and down. Now, the Spartans are going to be led, as we mentioned, by Callie Levine, a sophomore. She's committed to play basketball at the University of Iowa. She's averaging 23 points a game, 5.5 steals. She is the real deal. She can handle the ball as well as anybody in our league. She finishes with both hands. She's shooting 36% from the three-point line, almost 80% from the free throw line, and is involved in over half of their offense, either as a scorer or as a creator. She's certainly going to be the focal point tonight for our defense, as we'll try to scheme our zone to really line up multiple bodies in front of her and make other players make some plays for Solon. Now, the other area that we may try to exploit a bit tonight is to try to get our bigs involved. And on Tuesday night, we welcomed Brinley Rasmussen back to the lineup after being out for about a month with an ankle injury. And she rattled off 13 points for us, played a lot in our Twin Towers lineup with Liz Doherty, gave us a little bit of an edge on the boards. And we think tonight, because Solon isn't quite as big as what we've got inside, that's going to be a place that we're going to try to really pound the ball inside, see if we can score one-on-one, and if not, if we can kick it out and keep the ball moving from there. Now, speaking of ball movement, Jim and Kirk, that's one of the things that we have really enjoyed and celebrated and worked hard on this season, is to really keep the basketball moving as we try to play together. And an interesting stat that I came across this week is that right now, Mount Vernon is leading the WAMAC Conference, both divisions, in percentage of our field goals that are the result of an assist that come from a pass. And in fact, 76% of our makes this season are the result of a pass from a teammate, which is 8% higher than the second team in the league, which is Dyersville Beckman. And again, that just kind of goes to speak to both the chemistry, the camaraderie, and the trust that our players have in each other, and certainly our ability to knock down open shots when they're created as well. So we are looking forward to the challenge of playing the Spartans this afternoon. It should be a great crowd with our boys to follow. And Jim and Kirk, we're glad you could be along with us today. Back to you.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's right. All right, we're back.
Okay.
Kirk, always good to hear from Coach Sanderson. We're really privileged that he takes the time to record those for our listeners. And we got about 45 seconds here. We're going to go to the starting lineups, the national anthem, right to basketball. But
all right.
Let me talk to you. Let's think about these 3 keys to victory. I know he gave 3 of his to them. What do you think this breaks down to today?
Well, looking at the stats in the conference, we have 4 of the top 5 three-point shooters today. 2 for Mount Vernon and 2 for Solon. So I think we're going to see a lot of shooting from the outside. That was one of the keys Coach Sanderson wanted to do, was prevent a lot of the shots from the outside and kind of force the game to the inside. And then Callie Levine, the Iowa signee that he was talking about, we got to stop. We're not going to be able to stop her, but we got to slow her down.
Well, she is outside launching it right now. In fact, she hit her final one before the buzzer went off. And she hit quite a few in that warm-up. So,
yeah.
You know, the good thing is we've seen some great perimeter defensive play by the Mustangs in the last 3 or 4 contests. They're really going to have to push out hard on her and deny that basketball as best they can. She's going to get her points, but as you and I were kind of talking, and Coach Sanderson jumped in with us as well at the end of that last game Tuesday night, it's not about keeping her from scoring a lot of points, because she's going to get them. It's keeping the rest of them from contributing.
Yes, which we kind of saw that with the Beckman game.
Yeah.
Osterhaus She was our leading scorer, and Mount Vernon did a really good job of kind of shutting down the rest of the team. She still got 15 points for that game, but we did a good job of slowing her down and slowing everybody else down.
Well, we've got House PA announcer Ty Panos getting everybody warmed up and ready. Warm welcome for the officials. Sean Buckite, John Matthias, and Mark Setter are on hand with us. We sure appreciate those gentlemen. Starting lineup for the Solon Spartans, Avra Steebrel. And she's going to line up against Mackenzie Rentschler. And next out for the Solon Spartans, Kaya Holtkamp. And Cameron Brand, number 5, is coming out to shake hands with her. For the Solon Spartans, number 15, McKinley Levine. And she's going to shake hands with Annie C., number 11. There's the Iowa recruit, number 23, Callie Levine. Everybody's on hand to watch her and see how she does tonight. She's going to see leading scorer for the Mustangs, Peyton Simpson, number 25. Rounding out the lineup for the Solon Spartans will be number 40, Elise Hollibar. And she's going to see the inside Mandus of number 30, Liz Doherty. Those are the starting lineups. And we're going to get lined up here. Mantham's on hand to take the national anthem for us tonight. And we will be right back for the start of action as soon as they're done. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem. Another great job by Mantham. The boys, the men, the young men of the choir here in Mount Vernon. Some basketball players out there, some wrestlers. Kirk, it's time to get it on here in Mount Vernon, Solon Spartans.
We're going to have a close battle for second place in the Walmack East. So winner of this will take sole possession of second place right behind Marion.
Which shows you how much quality there is in the conference this season. Solon comes in 7-6. Mount Vernon comes in 6-6, looking to defend the home hardwood. Solon coached by Jamie Smith, assisted by Mark Sobers, Nathan Watson, and Jim Smith. Mount Vernon, of course, coached by Nate Sanderson, assisted by Ben Kinake, Lori Moss, Miranda Zelatis, and Jake Meisner. We're all set for the tip, and it will be Liz Doherty up against Kaylee Levine. And the opening tip's going to go to Liz Doherty. Peyton Simpson runs into a double team. That was another one of the keys to victory here for Coach Sanderson. How are they going to handle the pressure? And they do so with a bucket by Liz Doherty.
Right, they broke that. Once they take that double team, it's going to open somebody else up. So, Jim, they took advantage of that lane, got right down there and scored the first basket.
Great pass, and the ball barely touched the floor. One little quick dribble by Doherty to get a little closer. There's a three-pointer rattling in from Avra Steebrel. And it's Solon up on top, 3-2. A lot of perimeter pressure that these Spartans are going to put on Mount Vernon. Nice pass over the top to Annie C.
Lily C.
I'm sorry, Lily C. I've done that so many times in the number of years.
Big sister's getting some credit for doing nothing.
That's right. Lily C. starts out hot for the Mustangs. Nice backside rebound by Elise Hollibar. First shot by Callie Levine missed. And it was run down by Kaya Holtkamp. Levine's going to set up the offense again. Mustangs up 4-3. Holtkamp back to Levine. Down the corner to Hollibar. She has the pass tipped a little bit by Simpson, but able to grab back onto it. Holtkamp down to Levine, McKinley Levine. A shot missed underneath by Elise Holobar. Up top, Callie Levine gets done underneath the free throw line and hits the little floater.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jim, she's a sophomore. So we will be seeing her a couple times the next couple years.
Yes, she is. You don't go from high school early, so you're going to get the full complement of Callie Levine. Liz Doherty with her second bucket,
Liz
6'5".
Doherty's starting really hot. She's getting some good looks and going right to the basket.
One of the things we talked about going into the Beckman Catholic game, Kirk, was quality shot taking, right? You got to make the shots, but you got to take quality shots. There's a three-pointer missed. Really nice rebound by Liz Doherty. Already we've seen nothing but quality shots from these Mustangs.
Yeah, they're doing a good job defensive on the rebounds. One of the things they wanted to work on is getting better offensive rebounds.
Holobar took an elbow from Doherty to the schnoz. She's really in pain, but she's tracking Doherty.
Lisbon fans didn't like that.
No.
Or, excuse me, the Solon fans.
Take another rivalry. Holobar is she's just trying to breathe right now through that nose. Peyton Simpson went for the rebound. It was a nice shot, but went after her own miss. Didn't quite get it up high enough as she was close. That close, acute angle under the rim. And it's Spartans still down one. There's a three-pointer on the way from McKinley Levine. She missed it. Now Callie with the ball on the right wing underneath the Holobar. Has the pass tipped as she was trying to go inside out. Holtkamp, not even a chance on that one. Is nice play on inside on the Mustang defense. Rentschler trying to get on the scoreboard, and she goes for a layup. Good body check by Holtkamp. That's good to see Mackenzie Rentschler taking that aggressiveness. She's known for her perimeter play, Kurt.
Yeah, she's getting right in there and getting in the paint. We've seen her increase her drives to the basket considerably this year.
Nice cross-court pass to Brand. Doherty out to Simpson. She's going to get it back. She's going to go to the lane. They're going to call before the shot on Holtkamp. Great body position by Liz Doherty there.
Liz is on fire today. She's looking good. We need to keep that play. We need to keep that level going here.
And there's an inadvertent house buzz. Substitution coming in ahead of time, so they'll reset. Cameron Brand to inbound. She was having trouble getting it in before. The buzzer didn't help, and now it's going to go over the top, and Lily C is going to go get it. Mustang offense is going to start. C trying to get off the right wing. Drives baseline, has it tipped away by Stiebel. Beat Mount Vernon ball again. Number 14, Haley Miller comes in to relieve Kaya Holtkamp, who has 2 quick fouls. That would certainly help the Mustangs' cause if they could get 1 or 2 of these starters into foul trouble.
Yeah, that would be a very nice way for the Mustangs to start getting things going here.
Solon,
there we go.
Solon not deep in their play.
No, they don't. They have some really strong starters, which they're all seniors. So Callie Levine is their only underclassman starting on this team, and then they only go 2 or 3 players deep on the bench.
Nice bucket by Mount Vernon to go up 3 here early in first quarter. You're watching Mustang Vision. He's Kirk Wishmeyer, great analyst, and I can't even talk tonight. Great analyst for us, coming in and bringing you all of the pregame hype, the keys to action, and the analysis all day long.
I don't know if I'm bringing the hype. All I'm doing is just trying to fill in some space because you guys asked me to help out.
Love it. Love that you're here. Liz Doherty on the elbow, gets across the lane. She's going to dump it off to Peyton Simpson. To Mackenzie Rentschler, her first outside shot.
There we go.
Nothing but net for Rentschler. The Mustangs open up a 11-5 lead.
I'll take that all night long.
You know, a lot of times when you're an offensive player, when you get that early drive to the bucket, even if you don't make it, that just opens you up in the rhythm to see that outside shot much more, and it certainly worked for Mackenzie there.
Yeah.
Missed shot underneath by McKinley Levine. Trying to go in on Rentschler. Callie Levine stealing the pass from Brand. She's going to try to take it coast to coast. Dumps down low to Miller. She missed it. Brand with a nice rebound. That was good defense there to stop the ball in Levine.
That's one of her stat categories she leads in steals is Callie Levine. So that's something the Mustangs are going to have to watch out for all night long.
Good pressure by the other Levine, McKinley Levine.
We got a packed house tonight. This is nice having the double headers.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity here, and it's a Saturday, so you know nobody's coming from work, not many anyway.
I do see a few local celebrities. We have the Gazette's Jeff Linder.
Yeah,
I see him taking in a relative game here. And we also have Springville High School's leading scorer right now, Lauren Wilson.
How about that? Outside to Miller, Spartans with the ball, down 11-5, under 3 to play in the first quarter. Callie Levine working on Erin Jackson, who's back in the contest for the first time.
She was on the line there. I think they missed one.
Yep. Steebrel gets into the lane, floats one up, no good. Lily C goes after the rebound. It gets on the ground. 50-50 ball won by the Mustangs. Peyton Simpson grabs the handle.
Look at this defensive rebounding, Jim. They're not giving up on anything.
Steebrel a little high and tight on Lily C. He's going to come up with a foul. It's the third foul for the Spartans, just one for the Mustangs. Yeah, you're right. Great defensive position by the Mustangs and really quick with their hands. Court awareness there by the senior C. Erin Jackson, tough tour of duty. She's going to have to guard Callie Levine here just a little bit. Oh, and there's a 5-second call. Steebrel stayed with C just long enough. You don't see that very often.
I missed who called the timeout.
Solon did.
But, yeah, there you go.
Coach Smith called it, and it's their first timeout of the contest. So the 2-minute mark and a little bit of change. 11-5 Mustangs lead. When you talk about basketball in terms of waves, Kirk, first wave to the Mustangs. Great energy, great poise so far.
Absolutely. Mustangs, their play level right now, Jim, is pretty impressive. They're coming off a 3-game winning streak. They're doing really well, and they look like they're not afraid of anybody. So their level of play right now is pretty impressive. They're setting up in their 2-3 zone here.
Steebrel with the ball out top. Sees Peyton Simpson. Callie Levine gets along the baseline. She's going to miss the three-pointer, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Haley Miller.
Mustang ball.
We'll take that miss by Levine. I bet she doesn't have many of those. Well, she does, actually. She shoots 37%, but you're going to miss a lot from behind the arc.
Yeah.
She's made 29 on the season. 30, actually, because she's got one already.
She's number 4 in the state. Not in the class. She's number 4 in the state for taking field goal attempts.
Yeah, wow.
So she's number 1 in 4A for points. She's number 2 in steals. And she's number 3 in three-point made.
So if we can hold her under 15, 18 shots tonight, we'll have done our job.
Which it looks like the Mustangs are up for the task.
Well, Peyton Simpson's a great defender. She's got Callie Levine duties right now. Levine
now,
taking it out. Go ahead.
Watching Peyton Simpson, I'm not surprised at all. I've watched her a number of years play on junior high teams, so I'm not surprised with her level of play that she's putting into production right now.
Yeah, that 2-3 zone from the Mustangs. Steebrel, though, finds the gap and is able to hit her second three-pointer. It's 11-8 Mustangs with the lead. Brindley Rasmussen set to check in for the Mustangs in the next dead ball. Brand picks up her dribble. Miller all over. Doherty out high to get that ball. She's going to drive in underneath the arc, get it off to C. C working on Steebrel. Reverses her dribble. And that's opens up a nice lane to the bucket as everybody, Solon in that man defense, had everybody pulled away. Miller with a three-pointer, uncontested.
That's way off.
Not even drawing iron. So the student section will help Miller out here for the next couple of passes down the lane. Doherty trying to work on Claire Ladage that's into the contest now. Rough shot from Peyton Simpson. Hoping for a little foul contact, did not get it. Callie Levine going coast to coast. Runs into Doherty and somehow gets it to go off the heel. Levine calling for a foul the whole way.
Oh, they're going to.
And a little bit of momentum surge from the Spartans, and a little out of control for the Mustangs here.
Well, we didn't expect this to be a runaway by either team. So this is shaping up to be a battle, as we discussed. They're going to probably go to the wire.
And last second shot. Ashlyn Steen out to contest it against Steebrel, and it falls short. 13-10, though, Mount Vernon with the lead here at the end of the first quarter. And I got to say, Kirk, I'm not all that surprised at a Mount Vernon lead here in the first quarter. Now, I think Solon's starting to show a little bit of energy and some momentum, a little assertion coming. Certainly some early frustration by Levine not getting open the way she'd like to. Mount Vernon's handled that, and they've put in the buckets. That's helped them. Now what happens in the second quarter? Can they still see that basket fill up for them?
Absolutely. I think Mount Vernon needs to keep pushing. They need to keep their hands active and keep making sure they limit the outside shots, which they did a very good job. I think they've only landed, they had 2 3-pointers, but I'm not sure how many they put up all together. They did a really good job of containing that outside shot for the defensive portion of the Mustangs.
Well, we'll see. It's going to be a Mount Vernon basketball. No, it'll be Solon basketball, actually, I think. Yep, Solon basketball coming out in the second quarter as they have the possession arrow. On the floor for the Mustangs, Brinley Rasmussen not able to get in at the end of that first quarter, so she's going to start in the second quarter. Ashlyn Steen in as well. Steen, Rentschler, Brand, Rasmussen, and Lily C.
Getting some fresh legs on defense.
Steebrel with her third three-pointer, filling it up. It's now tied at 13 all early in the second quarter. Brand seeing a lot of pressure from Mia Stiley. Rentschler somehow able to keep her foot in place. Steen into the elbow, out to C. C's going to dribble in and be bumped by Steebrel. That's going to be her second. So that's probably a good foul to pick up as Ava Steebrel is filling it up with the pressure on Levine, and she's going to go to the bench with 2. In to take her place, Hillary Wilson. Brand with the inbounds. Just get it into Lily C, and out of bounds it goes. A little extra pressure from Mia Stiley. So tied at 13, the first time since it was 0-all. Spartans with the ball.
Like to see the Mustangs keep moving, keep the pressure on, and keep being very active and aggressive. That's how they got that early lead in the first half or the first quarter there.
A couple of steals and a couple of great defensive rebounds, but now the inside-out game is working well for the Spartans. And Hillary Wilson, who came in for Steebrel, hits her first. But she was wide open, Kirk. We just simply can't let that.
Yeah. They need to work a little bit harder to kind of get that gap closed up on the shooters.
Yep. Yeah, those front 2 in the 2-3 zone have to work together. Rasmussen not able to get to the ball, and it'll be tipped out of bounds by Callie Levine. Doherty and Simpson come back in as Steen and C go out. So now we got a little twin tower action with Doherty and Rasmussen on the floor at the same time.
Mount Vernon definitely has the height advantage in that category, so hopefully those twin towers, as we like to call them, can get in there and do some work in the paint. And
Doherty had great advantage there with Stiley on her, not able to do anything with it. And then there's the steal by Stiley in the passing lane. She loses handle on the ball, passes out of it, finds Callie Levine. Peyton Simpson out high on her.
Mustangs really able to recover on that little steal.
And there's a three-pointer missed. Nice rebounded by Cameron Brand on the backside. Mia Stiley with a miss. Rentschler, hesitation dribble. She's going to go baseline, working on Mia. Little push, gets the ball back herself. Missed it again. And a rebound. by Steebrel.
That was good work by Rentschler, but those are the shots we need to drop today if we're going to make sure we get this win.
Yep. Yeah, you can't pass up that opportunity. They're not going to get very many of those. Wilson with the ball, passes out to Levine. She takes it deep, comes back across what used to be well, I guess there's still a 5-second line there. Shot fake by Levine, gets the ball to the baseline, out top to Ledage.
Yeah.
No, Wilson with another, her second.
So Jim, here's the key of the game. They're allowing those outside shots to drop uncontested.
Yep.
Mustangs are going to have to work a little bit harder on defense to, again, close that gap that we were talking about.
Staley shooting 34 from behind the arc. Steebrel almost 40 from behind the arc. Hillary Wilson has been 0 for 8 so far in the season, and she's got 2 here early in the second quarter. And there's a 5-second call for Mount Vernon. So we're going to see Coach Sanderson, Kirk, I think, have to really work on patience with the team and calm them down. They seem to let their emotions get a little bit of them here early in this second quarter.
Well, we opened up the quarter, so Solon's on a 9-point run right now since the quarter break.
Yep. No points yet in the second quarter from the Mustangs. Wilson to Levine. Around the perimeter go the Spartans. To Staley. And skip pass over to Wilson. Ledage gets it back off to Staley. She takes it in and finds on the weak side McKinley Levine for an easy layup. Drew the attention of the defense away. Now Aaron Jackson with a three-pointer. Nice shot. She found herself all alone. And that breaks the ice for the Mustangs here in the second quarter. It's now 21-16.
That was a good look. We talked about mismatches on double teams. They're going to open up some shots for the Mustangs. That was a case right there where Aaron Jackson was in the right spot. She was open and took a good look and got the 3 points.
Yeah, it was a confident take by Jackson.
It was. She stepped right up and dropped it.
And the same thing out of Staley, this time a miss. I think that was her first miss.
Cameron Brand's doing a great job this season on her defensive rebounds. She continues to bring those down.
Oh, Jackson saw another one go down and it just rimmed out. She had to believe she hit that one.
It looked good from where I was sitting.
Levine with the basketball for the Spartans to Wilson. Back to Levine. In between the two up top, and she makes her first three-pointer. It's now 24-16. Mustangs down quickly to 8 in what seemed like just a heartbeat or two. Peyton Simpson, three-pointer on the way. Her first one misses. She was rushing out to try to help on Levine. Couldn't go get her own rebound. Stiley makes the layup on the quick pass underneath, and she'll have the and one coming. That's going to be not Lily Seaby, Peyton Simpson with the foul.
Jim, that was one of the things we talked about early on, was getting, I 100% lost my train of thought on that one.
It happens. Actually, it was not Simpson. That was Aaron Jackson with her first foul. There's 14 fouls for the Spartans, just 2 for the Mustangs. Lily C with a big step. Got shut down by Haley Miller. She passed out of it, tipped out of bounds, tipped away from Liz Doherty by Holobar. The Mustangs will inbound. Might have to go back court here. Nope, they find Peyton Simpson.
Offensive rebounds, that's what I was trying to think of.
Yes.
We need to make sure that the Mustangs work a little bit harder on getting those offensive rebounds. That was a goal of Coach Sanderson.
Nice move. They noticed the mismatch there with Doherty on Staley, and that's happened 2 or 3 times. That's the first time we've taken advantage of it.
That was a very nice job by Liz Doherty.
Spartans up 27-18. Kirk, this is a dangerous Spartans team. It's going to be a hard one for them to close this gap and keep them from scoring, which I think what you're one of the things you're alluding to on offensive rebound also is limiting those offensive rebounds. We really have to maximize our possessions and limit theirs.
Yeah. This is going to be an uphill battle for the Mustangs. We knew this was going to be a close game. They're slowly opening the gap. So we got to chip away at that point differential that we have right now.
Yep.
And continue to get some good looks and not do little mishaps like that.
Yeah, that was one where we got the turnover. We needed to convert that into closing that gap, and instead we get the ball right back, and not just give it back, but an easy layup out of it. Doherty got Hollabar on her back, went right to the rim. I think she's actually got that all night long if she wants it.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a mismatch. We're getting some good feedback from our listeners out there.
Thank you, Mr. Breezemeister, for the text. Glad that you're listening. Levine passes it off to Miller. Miller able to find Hollabar down low. And the Hollabar across court to Wilson, and Lily C's going to pick up the foul. Quick passing by the Spartans. Mustangs need to keep their head on a swivel right here. We've seen that cross-court pass from the between the two boxes now 2 or 3 times. Spartans are quick with the ball to the rim. Wilson with her first free throw. She'll get another one. It's 30-20. Mustangs led by 3 at the end of the first quarter, and it's been mostly Spartans here in the second quarter. They have tripled their score from the first quarter.
Yeah. They've got 21 in since our quarter break.
And a lot of those from behind the arc. Simpson with the ball up top for the Mustangs, working on Callie Levine. Does a nice job with her. Now Aaron Jackson. It's a better matchup there with Stolle. Underneath, nice find by Davis, but a great reaction. And then another great,
oh, no.
What a great reaction by Peyton Simpson to get the ball off Levine, but she stepped on the baseline.
I think she threw it off of Levine.
That was an awesome look by Liz Doherty.
That was.
23 seconds left. Levine's just walking the ball up, looking for the last shot of the half. We know that Solon will take a lead into the halftime locker room. Levine's going to take the shot. Three-pointer on the way, nothing but net, and they'll take a big lead into the half. One more chance for the Mustangs, maybe. C bumped. And that'll be a ball underneath. Haley Miller with a foul. 5th of the half for the Spartans. Mustangs looking for a shot. Not going to get it in, I don't think.
Good, clean look here.
Doherty to the rim, and then she does.
Good.
Nice job. So the Mustangs able to add points in the second quarter. We were kind of concerned about whether they could continue to see the ball go into the basket. Not at the same clip, but not far off. But on the defensive side, the Spartans made just about everything they looked at.
That was a tale of 2 different quarters by the Solon Spartans. They came out kind of flat. Mount Vernon looked like they had them solved. And then second quarter they came out and started working their game and playing much better basketball. That's kind of what I think we came to expect from the Solon Spartans, Jim, is last year they were a pretty darn good team. They did very well. And then they just, for whatever reason, they haven't had the wins in their win total so far this year. So that being said, I still think that Mount Vernon's got an absolutely good chance of coming back and getting some points on the board and making this very competitive all the way to the buzzer.
Absolutely. If we can play them in the second half like we did in the first quarter, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that not only can we close this gap, but we could even maybe try to steal this at the very end. But it's going to take keeping the pressure around the perimeter, not letting it break down. I think with the big key to me in that second quarter that was the advantage for Solon was that they got the inside-out game going. And if they didn't, if they wanted to, they could choose the perimeter shot. If they wanted to, they could find the inside shot. Mount Vernon's got to take one of them away, and I think at this point we need to prefer the taking away the outside shot.
Yeah, I think limiting those threes that Solon has kind of been known for and doing such a good job at this season, I think limiting those threes and perhaps getting a few more threes on our own side put back up would be a much better way to contain the score in the second half.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break here and feature one of our sponsor commercials. This is Lynch Ford Chevrolet. They're one of our maroon sponsors, which is a year-long commitment to Mustang Vision. And all of the broadcasts, you'll see all of our sponsors, their logos up in the upper right corner of your screen throughout the broadcast.
Hi, I'm Lisa Lansing with Lynch Ford and Lynch Chevrolet in Mount Vernon. As you know, there's a real issue right now with new car availability. New car dealers are critically low on inventory. However, unlike other dealerships, this situation doesn't change our philosophy on how cars should be sold. All it means in today's market is that we are going to work extra hard to help you with your next vehicle purchase, whether that's new or pre-owned. So at Lynch Ford and Lynch Chevrolet, now more than ever, let us show you how we really are selling a lot of cars in a very different way.
New window coverings are a fantastic way to update and transform a space, and in this part of the country, we hope you'll consider Budget Blinds. Your local franchisee, the Sill family, and their many team members recently received 2 huge national honors. They won the National Franchisee of the Year award from Budget Blinds, and they earned our National Best of the Best award for customer satisfaction based on their record of outstanding customer reviews for years. We love that Budget Blinds has the huge selection and buying power of a big national chain, but operates with the personal touch that comes with local family businesses. If you're looking for stunning blinds, shades, shutters, drapery, the Budget Blinds team has what you need both residentially and commercially. The Sill family will bring many great design ideas to the table in an in-home consultation. Then their installation teams will make sure that your window coverings are installed professionally, ensuring many years of enjoyment. Please visit budgetblinds.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. Budget Blinds, style and service for every budget.
Well, thank you to Lynch Ford Chevrolet and Budget Blinds, 2 of our maroon sponsors here this season. Year-long sponsors bringing Mustang Vision free to you as our listeners, our viewers, no matter where you're at. We do, however, want to give you the chance to participate. We know many of you are enjoying what you're seeing, and so we've come up with an opportunity for you to do so. If you are, doesn't matter where you're at, you can take your phone out right now, iPhone or Android base. Shoot that Venmo QR code, and that'll take you to a place where you could contribute as well. And then you will be recognized among the boosters throughout our seasons. It's a great opportunity that we're bringing to our fans far and wide. We've had several take advantage of that already. So we want to invite you to do that. Quick and easy to do. Kirk, as we get set for the second half, Coach Sanderson, we got about 6 minutes left. He'll send the team out probably with about 3 minutes on the clock for a quick warm-up. I got to think that time in the locker room is well spent right now, trying to get the girls back to that mindset, the post-Beckman Catholic pregame mindset that they had, because they're going to need that in the second half.
Well, what we've witnessed, Jim, over the course of the first few games with these Mustang women is Coach Sanderson keeps a very level head, and he's prepared. So organized and prepared. So he's going to have his information ready to go. He's going to lay it out, tell the girls what we need to improve on and what we need to do better at, and get this turned back around so we can start playing the ball we've been playing the last 3 games.
Let's talk positives from the Mustang side. We've seen some great things happening tonight. For one is Liz Doherty. If she has dominating control, really carte blanche. Whenever she wants it, she can make a move on the bucket, and it's got a free layup for her.
Yeah, down in the paint. She's been having her way with the Solon defenders down there. So she's done a very good job. She got 12 points in the first half so far, 6 in the first and 6 in the second. She's continuing to work very well. She's doing some good work on the defensive end, also getting quite a few defensive rebounds. So Liz is playing a very nice game tonight.
She is, and it doesn't matter whether they've had Elise Hollowbar on her with a bigger body, a bigger presence. They've tried a smaller, quicker guard on her. None of that has really been that effective for Liz, and so it's great to see, which I think then in that second half we'll see that hopefully start giving us more reliance on our outside game. If we can get the inside-outside game going like we did against Beckman Catholic, that will help us greatly as well.
They can start focusing a little bit on getting some of those perimeter shots into the basket if they're a little more concerned about what Liz Doherty's doing down there. Liz is one of our 3 seniors that we have on the team this year, so it's very nice. We've seen each one of our seniors do a tremendous job at some point of every single game. They get in there at the right time. They get in there in the right situations and continue to do work. So it's fun to see them exceed. It's fun to see them do well. And I hope we continue to see more good work out of them as we continue along throughout the season.
Well, and the seniors particularly being leaders on a team that went 1-20 last year and then coming out this year and seeing a dramatic change in the program is really rewarding them for their commitment, for their preseason, for their postseason and off-season commitments. And so I think it's great to see what's going on here in Mount Vernon and leading in with the legacy that they're going to leave behind for a Cameron Brand, for a Lily C., for a Laura Swart that are watching and getting some significant minutes. Erin Jackson, who's outstanding as a freshman already.
Yeah.
So I love seeing someone come in with the hype of a Callie Levine and finding a player like Erin Jackson just doesn't care, doesn't have stars in her eyes, right? I'm going to body you up. I'm going to play you hard. You got to prove yourself.
That's right. It's fun being in high school sports from a standpoint of these are a lot of life lessons and a lot of life memories that these young student athletes are learning right now. So it's fun to see them excel and do well in these situations. And like you said, Erin Jackson, I mean, gosh, when she was waist high out there shooting baskets out in the neighborhood, you kind of saw how much she loved the game and how much it was fun for her to play. So to see these young women grow up and come into these roles on the varsity team is it's good. I'm happy for them, and it's nice to see that competitive fire in quite a few of them. Liz has not taken any step back in the paint on any of these games, regardless of who her opponent has been. Ashlyn Steen, the same way. She's coming here aggressive and running, and we're seeing her hustle.
Right.
She's probably the fastest player on the team. And then the same way with Kinsey. She's shooting from the outside, and you noted she quickly drove right to the inside and took some good shots in the paint. So across the board, it's been really good with the Mustang ladies here.
A lot of season left as well, so they no matter how they come away from this game, they'll be in second place or all by themselves, or they'll be in third place in a little bit more of a logjam. But a lot of season left, and a lot of chances for them to exert themselves and really prepare uniquely for a postseason that heretofore you probably would have said was a long shot for them.
Absolutely, I think coming in. Quite a few of the opponents in our conference probably were not expecting the Mount Vernon Mustangs to be in the position that they're playing right now. They're doing very well, and their record is reflecting their attitude and their effort and what they're putting forth with their teammates. So being in a position to fight for second place in mid-conference, that's really good. Dug a little bit. When was the last time Mount Vernon was this late in the season and had a 500 or better record?
Last time.
It's been a while.
The last time that they were 500 or better at this point in the season, I'm going to say 2015.
No, actually January of 2019.
2019.
Yes. So
right.
I think that was the Ella Brazzi.
Yeah. Oh,
Annie,
that's right. Yeah.
Annie Romberg, Ashley Viss, and Sammy Moss.
Solid squad.
They were all seniors that year. They were 500 shortly after. There we go. Got it started.
Mackenzie Rentschler out of the locker room, into the net. Starts off with a three-pointer for the Mustangs as we're right back to action. 2019, January of 2019, the last time the Mustangs were at 500 or better. All right. We're hoping.
Check.
I'm seeing that we should be live and you should be hearing us. Oh, I'll tell you what. If I'm guessing we need to text. If it's not going to do it for me to tell them that on screen because they're not hearing me. But we need to text them. There might be two feeds going because I know that the JV set up the earlier feed, and so there may be two different tracks playing out. So we've got some listeners texting us that they couldn't hear us. Lily C with a steal. The Mustangs starting out with the early bucket, and then another one on a great solo steal and layup by C. It's now 34-27. The Mustangs cutting in quickly in this third quarter.
I like this start. This is good.
Stiebrel is going to fall short. Nice backside rebound by Hollabar, and she gets the putback on Brand. Brand just not quite able to push her out of the way. 36-27. So we'll try to get our listeners to get over on the right feed. We've tried to work on that with the coaching staff. It's Peyton Simpson a little flat on her shot. Nice little jumper look though. Callie Levine out quickly for the Spartans, and she'll get rewarded with an assist to Kaya Holtkamp. 38-27. Yeah, that's the thing with this huddle cam that we use in the gymnasium. If you don't set the expiration time for the feed, you can get overlapping.
Yeah.
They go live on all of the all of the early games.
It's nice to have that freshman, sophomore, and then JV YouTube feed, so
Yep.
family and friends can watch them also, but that causes just a tad bit of a confusion for some listeners when we get in and get that switched over.
Stiebrel stays hot and pushes the lead back up for the Spartans. So the Mustangs out of the locker room, able to cut this thing from 12 down to 7, and it's gone right back up to 14 as Coach Smith and the Spartans able to handle those first couple of jabs and a roundhouse from the Mustangs. And now Coach Sanderson having to get the Stangs up off the carpet. And so Coach Sanderson with a timeout early here in the second half. Both teams with 4 left in the game.
All right.
Back to action.
Mustangs can do it. Keep working, keep playing their game.
Cameron Brand to Simpson, Simpson to C. C working on Stiebrel, gets into the inside the elbow, ducks underneath. That was a good-looking shot. Stiebrel, though, put enough pressure on it that it fell short. And they go quickly down the court. And a great shot on the ball by Rentschler as Levine went up for a layup. Or no, that was McKinley. Yeah, McKinley Levine. There was a lot of ball there is all we're going to say.
McKinley Levine is a signee for track at University of Northern Iowa.
Oh, wow.
So both sisters are considerable athletes.
Doherty gets loose and hits a nice little 7-foot J there. Great pass on the breakdown court. And so the Mustangs clawing and trying to stay in this game. Quick inside out move by the Spartans, and Levine throws it up, gets hacked on the shot. And that will be on Rentschler, I believe. McKinley Levine on the free throw line by herself. She misses the first. Coach Smith with a little extra discussion with the rest of the team. Now they come over for the second shot. That was Mackenzie Rentschler's foul, her first of the game, first for the Mustangs in the second half.
That's one thing we don't usually see from Mackenzie is a foul.
No, she's really good with her hands and her feet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And McKinley Levine able to get the second to go. It's now 42-29. Mustangs with the ball. Doherty passes off to C up top. Wants it back, calls for it. She's got Hollabar on her hip. Cross to Brand. C inside the elbow, down to the block. Shows the ball. And she's got a little body action there by Haley Miller.
That was some incredible ball handling skills there.
Looked really good.
By Lily C. Unfortunately, she just couldn't get that shot up close enough to the rim.
It's one of those where as she rolled it up under the heel of her hand, I think she just didn't quite get enough contact with the ball. McKinley Levine floats one in, and it's 44-29, up to 15. C to Brand. Brand seeing a lot of pressure from Haley Miller. Rentschler. McKinley Levine on her. She turns, dumps it off to Doherty. Doherty in the lane. Goes hard off the backboard and no good. Doherty had to work quickly for that basket. Callie Levine inside the elbow. She's going to toss off to Haley Miller. Miller drives and gets in the way of Mackenzie Rentschler for her second foul.
This is kind of going to show you that there's a lot of parity in this conference, Jim. You were commenting on that earlier. Mount Vernon went into Maquoketa, soundly took care of Maquoketa.
Yep.
Maquoketa came back and beat this Solon squad that is now up on us by 15 points.
Yeah, you just never know. Any given day, that's why they play the game, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And there's a nice basket underneath for Claire Ledage, who's in for the Spartans. First time in the second half. C, working on Steebrel, picks up her dribble. Drops it off to Doherty on the give and go and makes the layup. Nice work. Coach Sanderson's going to call a timeout, 46-31. So let's talk a little bit about that timeout move right there. You know, you make a basket, really good offensive set, and then not unlike Coach Tim, Coach Sanderson with a quick timeout after the offensive possession. What is the thought going into this timeout?
I haven't a clue. I haven't a clue. I'm with you that he really good offensive possession there.
Yeah.
Dropped it in. I'm not a coach. I'll be the first one to admit that. So I'm not sure what he's talking about there. But I'm thinking that it's probably, looking at the score, we're still down by 15. So probably trying to reel in some nerves a little bit, calm these girls down, and get them fired back up to play some of the positions and some of the attacking that they were doing earlier in the game.
Well, he grabbed the clipboard too, and I think that's always a good indication. When you see that clipboard coming out, he's got a specific intent to draw up something on a defensive end. My guess is he's really seeing the Spartans have their way with us down underneath.
Yeah, the demeanor of the Mustang girls here has changed a little bit since the beginning of the game. They came out on fire. I mean, we saw them start this game really hot, really aggressive, really energetic, and slowly the Spartans are chipping away at that.
Some quick passing by the Spartans to start this offensive possession. Levine off to Stolle. She gets it back, drives, gets in the lane, out to Stolle for a three-pointer on its way. Miss on the backside, though, is the rebound by Claire Ledage. Off to Miller. She's going to find Hollabar underneath, and Doherty's going to pick up the foul. Hollabar able to get the bucket to go as well. Quick passing by the Spartans. If you want to beat a defense down, do it with the pass.
Mustangs going to get some fresh legs in there.
Hollabar with a free throw, and Rentschler is going to take a seat. Aaron Jackson back in, so it's C, Brand, Jackson, Doherty, and Simpson. Need to get Simpson some shots here. And right away, Doherty finds her.
Yeah, there you go, Jim.
Simpson able to get a layup to go, and it's 49-33.
It's like you knew it was coming.
Well, she'd been really quiet, and
she has been tonight.
Nice anticipation, Lily C, but she couldn't control the ball. Had just a little too much going.
Surprisingly, Peyton Simpson scored a whole bunch of points last game. And then that bucket right there was her first one of the night.
Yeah, she looked a little frustrated coming out of the locker room at half as she was taking her warm-up shots. Miller with the ball. Off to Hillary Wilson. Wilson back to Miller. And she gets it back. And she's going to take a shot. She was hot in that first half after being 0 for in the season. Leaves that on the front rim. Rebounded nicely by Doherty. C with the ball. Drives on Miller. Backdoor cut by Jackson, intercepted by Wilson, and it'll be Spartan basketball. Callie Levine working downhill. Little floater is not going to go, but it's rebounded nicely by LeDage. Mustangs not getting that defensive rebound.
Yeah, they gotta continue to work on not giving up this three-point shot.
Miller with the ball, dribbles in. She's going to back it out again, and Levine's going to start on the right side. Wilson goes top of key, off to Miller. Levine gets it back top of key. Peyton Simpson way out on her. Jackson.
Yeah, it certainly seems like Solon's slowing down the pace of this game a little bit.
Yeah, they really are.
They're in a position when they're up 15, up 16, and they're going to try and slow it down a tad bit.
Looking like they want the last second of the third, or the last shot of the third quarter here. Simpson coming out on Levine, off to Miller. Of course,
not quite sure why they're
taking the air out of the ball.
Yeah, trying to run the whole clock for the last minute.
Yeah, this is one of those things where the 25-second shot clock next year, I think, will benefit girls basketball. And there's a travel, so a little pressure by Jackson rewards the Mustangs in a turnover. I don't know what they can do with 1.8 seconds. Backcourt pressure from the Spartans. And a foul, that will help.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the first foul of the half by the Spartans. Won't help enough to get us on the free throw line, but you never know. Those fouls can add up at the end. Lily C. not able to get the ball off before time expires. And at the end of three, Mount Vernon actually goes down a little further. 33-49 is our score here from Mount Vernon. Want to encourage you to stay tuned after this game as the boys varsity will be warming up, as we probably will get a chance to talk with Coach Sanderson. He's made a commitment to being with us in some post-game settings here, so it'll be nice to have him up as we get ready for Mustang boys varsity action. That's going to be a barn burner as well. The Solon boys is a team that's going to come in with a lot of height advantage over our Mustangs.
Yeah. I have not seen the Solon boys lineup. I haven't dug into that too much, but I think our crowd here tonight is in for a good treat. Between our ladies here playing on our Highway 1 rivalry, and then the boys coming in a little bit later. Like you said earlier, it's nice to have our varsity doubleheader here.
Yeah, we've done varsity doubleheaders with Solon down in Solon, and we've done them here. We've done it with DeWitt and a couple other teams. So really nice to get a chance to do that. That boys game will feature a very similar relationship between the two teams as we see here with the girls, as the Solon Spartans are 7-5 and the Mustangs are 6-5. So very similar records. So fresh 8 on the clock, the final 8 on the clock. And we had, looks like we're going to might have a technical call here or a timeout. Going to take a 30-second timeout. So there was something that happened with a Spartan player, and I don't know if it was too many players on the court or what. But they called timeout, a 30-second timeout, and called the girls off the floor. So no time expired and a timeout already.
Well, Solon came out and on fire for the third period there. They ended up getting 15-point advantage over their halftime score. So
yeah, they're up 16 right now, and the Mustangs have to find a way to, again, limit the effectiveness. This is not it, though. Although Stebro misses, I would not want her. Oh, and they're going to call Lily C with a travel. Great rebound by Lily C. Had Hillary Wilson behind her, and Wilson goes around the side, allows C to fall, and ends up with the turnover. Back to the Spartans.
I didn't know falling down was a travel.
And Steebrel with another shot. She misses that one as well. This time Doherty with the rebound secures it for the Mustangs and back the other way. Mustangs headed to the north hoop. C to Brand, and her shot, pass down to Simpson was intercepted by Callie Levine. Levine takes it up herself, misses the three-pointer on the back rim. Simpson with an easy rebound. That possession as if it didn't happen. Now Brand, three-pointer on the way, and Brand connects. That's her first points of the night.
Yeah, I would like to see Cameron take some more points. She's done a very good job of shooting threes.
Yep.
This entire season, so I'm a little surprised it took this long for her to get some points.
Simpson with nice hustle. They got triple team on Wilson there, and that's going to leave Steebrel for a wild three-point shot. So a couple key misses, 3 in a row actually for Ava Steebrel. And Steebrel's going to be called for the foul, a little frustration foul. 49-36. Mustangs could use a bucket here in a big way. 6:41 on the clock. There's still time in this game, Mr. Wishmeyer, but it's waning.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to make a heck of a run.
Simpson, nice turn and look. No good.
Make some shots like that. They need to get those to go down.
Good body by Brand on the drive by Miller. So she didn't have that free look. Yeah, they're going to have to get a couple of these buckets to go down. They really can't afford too many more misses.
No.
Now Miller from the line. What they can't do, they've done a great job keeping the foul totals low. Both teams have. But we can't give up fouls in shooting situations.
Absolutely.
Because Solon's going to make the majority of them. They shoot 63% as a team from the free throw line. C with a stretch bounce pass to Doherty. Doherty turns around, looks at Hollowbar, drives to the block, out to C. C with a jab step, dumps it off to Simpson, and they're going to call Simpson with a travel. And so the Spartans with an extra possession here. 6:16 on the clock. Miller with the ball. Back to Levine. Inside to her sister, McKinley. McKinley floats it over the rim. Basket good. It's now 53-36. Mustangs with a basket desperately needed here. And C thought she had it. It was a good look from the block.
That was an awfully good look. I thought that ball was going to go in.
Just a little strong. And good ball movement by the Spartans. Miller to Hollowbar, and it's a 55-36 lead.
Unfortunately, this game is starting to slip away from the Mustangs.
Cameron Brand says, I'll take it. I'll help out a little bit. 38-55 deficit for the Mustangs. Kaya Holtkamp back in for the Spartans. Gets to McKinley Levine. She passes up the shot to Holtkamp to Miller. Miller gets in the lane, back to Holtkamp. Holtkamp's three-pointer, nothing but net. Everybody's reining them in now for the Spartans. 58-38, their largest lead of the game. Backdoor cut by Lily C. Misses it. Nice rebound by Doherty, and she puts it back. And that'll be a timeout by Coach Sanderson. Brindley Rasmussen's going to come in, and he's going to get Rentschler back in as well. So we're under 5 to play, 18-point lead. It's scratch and claw moment, but they absolutely have to stop the offensive possessions for the Spartans.
Yeah, they got to have a few other things happen too. They got to get some turnovers, stop a couple of their shots, and get some big buckets on our end. Kind of get that score chipped away at.
One of the things we have not seen much at all from the Mustangs is backcourt pressure. And
no, you're correct.
You know, my guess is we just don't have the speed at the perimeter and to stay with a team like the Spartans. But you know, that is always in the back of your mind. Would a little backcourt pressure this late in the game shock them for 2 or 3 possessions and give you that extra boost?
Yeah, it could be. They need to get some of that fire back that they had in the first quarter. They came out and started this game really energized, and they're looking a little flat right now. It looks like Mustang girls might be a little bit tired. So I don't know if that exhausted them a little bit with that pace and speed we had early in the game.
We've had a lot of minutes on the floor from Lily C. and from Peyton Simpson.
Yeah.
You've got some help out there. Fresh legs from Erin Jackson, Mackenzie Rentschler, and Brindley Rasmussen now. Doherty, who's also logged a lot of minutes, taking a breather. Nice work on the defense by the Mustangs, but they could not come up with a loose ball, and it'll be resort into a bucket by Halabar. She was able to come up with the 50-50. Good defensive pressure, and the ball just rattled around a little too much.
Mustangs haven't gone too terribly deep on their bench tonight.
Nope, just 8 deep. Nice work by Peyton Simpson to keep control of that ball. C has her shot blocked by Holtkamp. Simpson dropped at the block to Rasmussen in the lane. Backdoor cut to Mackenzie Rentschler, and that'll be a bucket. Good work without the basketball by Mackenzie Rentschler. And nice patience by Brindley Rasmussen to not drag that foot. 60-42.
Yeah, Kinsey kept working the perimeter out there, and the opportunity came, and she dropped right around and got in position for that pass from Brindley.
Holtkamp to Levine, Levine to Levine. Halabar has her shot blocked outside to Callie Levine, off the heel, rebounded by Lily C. McKinley Levine tried to tie her up.
Those are a couple of the breaks that we were looking for. We were hoping for some of those missed shots by Solon here.
Lily C.
There we go.
Puts Holtkamp on her back, gets the shot to go, and she'll have the extra. The and one coming, 60-44. Steeble coming in for Holtkamp. Lily C. really does a nice job when she gets down to that block, reversing, keeping her pivot foot and reversing her momentum so that she can get that extra look at the rim.
Mm-hmm.
She cannot get the free throw to go, though, and it's rebounded by Halabar. Callie Levine's going to bring it up for the Spartans as we hit the 3-minute mark in the game. Steeble back to Levine. Inside to her sister. Down low to Halabar. Outside to Kaya Holtkamp. And the Mustangs come away with the loose ball. Rentschler working on Holtkamp. Passes down to the baseline to Simpson. Simpson's going to take the shot.
Ooh.
Rasmussen can't come up with the rebound, but Erin Jackson hustles for it. Faces up on McKinley Levine. And the pass to C is going to be rewarded with a foul on Steeble.
That was some good vision there by Erin Jackson. She hustled right down there, came around. I thought maybe she'd drive into the basket.
Yep.
She passed it back out and ended up getting the foul.
I think she feared she had McKinley Levine on her, you know, she's got a
On
little
her
height.
heels, yeah.
Feared getting blocked, so it was nice that she took the extra pass. Peyton Simpson wrestles for the basketball. Doherty with the rebound, out to Rentschler. Rentschler's three-pointer on the way, just short. And corralled by Levine to Levine. Callie Levine with a Euro step around Lily C for the bucket. And that's going to be a timeout called by Coach Smith. 62-44. Well, we've seen a couple of quality shots from Callie Levine, but that was the first moment. There might have been one defensively in the first half, but that was kind of the first moment where you see that extra, that next level quality.
Well, you know, Jim, looking back at our game plan, Mustangs have done an incredible job of shutting down Callie Levine. So total right now, she's only got 12 points in the game.
Yeah, that's
which is well under. That's 10 points under her per game average for the season. Unfortunately, some of the other players on Solon's squad have quite stepped it up.
Yep.
Hillary Wilson, she's a little bit on fire right now. She's getting some points dropped in there, and a few others.
Stever's right there.
Yeah. Stever's, she's got 12 right now.
Haley Miller with a couple of three-point busts back.
Yep.
Yep.
So, signs of a good team when one player isn't doing quite as well, the others pick up some of the slack, and that's exactly what the Solon Spartans have done tonight. They have outplayed themselves in quite a few different positions, and have been able to control the pace of the latter portion of this game.
Mustangs with the turnover. Backdoor to Lily C got knocked away. So the Spartans now with the ball with 1:40 on the clock and content to try to run down as much time. They know they've got enough points to win this game. McKinley Levine's going to toss it up, hit the back of the rim. Doherty tried to knock it out of her hands, and they kept it alive. Spartans get an extra possession. That's the other thing that's happened in this second half is we've not seen the defensive rebounding that we did in the first half.
Yeah.
Nice job by Mackenzie Rentschler, though, up top to strip that ball.
Got a steal.
And she tries to throw it up, hoping for a little bit of a contact foul, not able to get it. And it's 62-44, 1 minute to play. And Solon is going to make it 5 in a row on Mount Vernon with a really solid squad, and one that, Kirk, I think you'd have to say has a lot to look forward to into the postseason.
Absolutely. We've seen some good basketball teams, Jim.
Yep.
We've seen some good players. These guys are right up there with some of our conference leaders that we've seen. So I'm awfully happy. Mount Vernon Mustangs have been playing quite well and are continuing to show the improvements that Coach Sanderson is looking for.
Yep.
And they're not going to be defined by this one game. So we're going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to go upward. So.
Yeah, I get a sense, there is a look of some frustration and some exhaustion out there for the Mustangs. But at the same time, this is one of those frustration games that, to me, creates hunger. They've had such great success. That's going to be the end as the Spartans take the air out of the ball completely. 62-44 is the final. And I think we'll see these Mustangs rebound and really look for what is coming up for them. And a chance to obviously get back to a winning record or a win streak by picking up the next one if they can.
Yep.
But saying to themselves, this game doesn't define us. We didn't perform the way we could have, but we did statistically enough good things that we know the building blocks are there. Let's go make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for a brand new coach coming into a program and taking over, they set some goals. And our early conversation with Coach Sanderson, he's set some realistic and some measurable goals. So we were talking about his statistics that he's looking at and following, and trying to instruct the girls on. So they're going to continue to get better and work on improvements. So I think so far it's been a great success for these girls to come in here and do such a good job. And they're sitting at 6 wins already for the year. So I think we're gonna find a couple more wins on the schedule looking forward here. So our next game, Jim, and that one is going to be Independence, so that one's away. So
away to Independence on Tuesday night.
Yep, our game won't be there, and then we're going to follow up with that one with Makokada. So as we were talking, looking forward on the schedule, we got some winnable games, but also every game is going to be just as tough to make sure we get that win. So
well, and we know that Makokada game on Friday night, and Kirk will be here for you. I'm actually going to be away on a business trip, so thanks for staking down the Mustang vision for us that night.
Yes.
But we know that Maquoketa is going to be a battle. Maquoketa game is going to be a battle because of how they played Solon, a really quality Solon team, and trying to come in and steal one from the Mustangs when the Mustangs did that over on their court. So
absolutely,
it's going to be an interesting game, and we'll look forward to seeing the outcome of that. And Independence, you know, Mustang, the battle at the OK Corral, if you want to call it that, the battle of the Mustangs. We always, doesn't matter what level those two teams are at, that it is always a contest, and so. Good road win opportunity for the Mustangs if they play the way they did against Beckman Catholic and some others.
Yeah, and I think the positive here is the Mustangs are not counted out for any of these games we got coming up. So there's no monsters on the schedule that are for sure a loss for the Mustangs, and I think Coach Sanderson is probably reinforcing that with our student athletes and making sure they're aware that everything's winnable.
Yep.
I mean, I can't repeat enough just the look on the Mustangs' faces and their attitude and how they're carrying themselves compared to the start of the season or the first couple games. They've done a phenomenal job. They're hanging in there, and they're not giving up on their teammates. They're not giving up on themselves. And I think for sure the coaching staff believes in them.
Yeah, I think really until the latter minutes of that game, I really did not get a sense that the Mustangs felt out of that contest, this contest this afternoon. I do think they got a little weary towards the end.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the limited bench participation tonight, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. You know, you got to bring some of those younger players along in their confidence to give those key critical moments of rest and relaxation to keep everybody fresh and as you can towards the end of the game in these hotly contested rivalry contests.
Yep.
Well, so that's the final for the girls, 62-44. And I have not seen Coach Sanderson come out of the locker room yet. I'm not sure whether he will with the boys warming up, so we'll kind of play that one by ear. I am going to shut the feed down just for a minute so that I can restart the boys varsity game. So we're going to take about a 30-second break here, and we'll be back. Kirk Wishmeyer.
All right, thanks.
All right, we'll turn the camera back over to the boys. I'm going to take a 30-second break, get set up for the boys basketball, and we'll be right back. You're watching Mustang Vision.